So just a really quick training update. Week's gotten better. Had a half decent swim session, and yeah, it's pretty much the back end of the week. And just plugging away through it, feeling alright. Just off to the pool for a little dip. So yeah, should be good. Nothing too strenuous, just getting through it. Okay, so before I get going with my little rant about LSS, just don't forget to like and subscribe, please. It helps the channel, and it doesn't take you 2 seconds. It's just at the bottom of the screen. So yeah, please do that, and get on with it. Good session in the bag. Home for some food. So this week started out pretty rough. Monday was flat out. I probably started at about 6:30 and didn't stop until 7. Just continuous, just shoveling food down when I could and getting on with the rest of the day. It was a combination between training and workload. And that had a knock-on effect for the rest of the week then. And I just thought it was quite important to note, because I also spoke to the students about this within the Monday session. Something that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. You may or may not be aware of it, but I thought I'd term it, give it some terminology, and potentially put it to Training Peaks. Should you be including this within your data analysis? Life stress score. So life stress. You've got your training stress score, your TSS, within Training Peaks. I think that life stress score should be included. LSS, maybe. With our coached athletes, you have to take that into consideration. Not just coached athletes, with us, with me. Like, that Monday, my life stress score was high, really high, and that had a knock-on effect throughout the week. So take that into consideration, and then you have to fudge around what you do with training. If you've had a really tough day at work, for example, you can't then do a really hard session in the evening. It's not going to be as effective. And all these stresses build up into one big package. It's not just individual elements. You can't compartmentalize these things. They're all sort of one. The topic came about because I was talking to the students about next year more so than anything, but it just made me reflect on the past few years and how I tend to teach architecture for first years, because they've got loads of life stresses going on that they've never experienced before, probably in their lives, most of them anyway. They've just moved out of home, so they have to cook themselves, do their own washing, and they're like, did I struggle? Yeah, kind of, maybe, back in the day. And it's all of those new skills and pressures that they've probably never had before in their lives. Maybe, I don't know. And on top of that, they're then expected to go from an educational environment, more often than not, that basically spoon feeds them. They're told what to do, when to do it, do your homework. if you do this, you'll get the right answer, there's a right and wrong, etc., etc. So they've gone from that into what I teach, architecture, and we in architecture are quite often like, or do what you feel is right. And they're like, I don't have any feelings, I don't know how to feel. Like, obviously I'm blowing things out of proportion, but we give them quite a lot of freedom, or we tend to give them quite a lot of freedom to make their own choices. They've got enough going on outside of architecture. They've got enough life stress, if we want to call it that. They don't want to be overwhelmed with the architectural side of things as well, because otherwise that LSS, that life stress score, that architect stress score will be too much, will be overwhelming. So if you look at training as the architecture side of things, and life stress in terms of fending for yourself, cooking for yourself, and making new friends, for example, then you want the architecture and training side of things to have the right sort of balance in comparison to this life scenario. And yeah, as professional athletes, we try and minimize those life stresses as much as physically possible so that we can get as much out of the training stress score as we can. But sometimes that can't happen and we fall foul to it. Traveling, for example, is a massive life stress. This is where the elite of the elite minimize it to the max. They've got the money to fly business class, for example, and then that allows them to get to races far fresher than others that can't afford those types of things. So it's just kind of an insight into what I was thinking about on Monday with regards to just these life stresses. And yeah, professional athletes don't have to work, so all they do is train and concentrate on training. That's the best way to get better, is just have that focus, that ability to put all your effort and attention into one or two things. It's just about balancing those stresses and trying to manage those things, and it's the same throughout life and all of the professions. It was just quite interesting to reflect on and try and make sure that I'm doing the right thing in terms of balancing my life and work and play and training. So yeah, have a think about it yourself. Are you balancing things correctly? Do you need a coach to help you balance those things? I know that's something that we massively bring to our clients and they value, but hope that was valuable. Let me know. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Do hit the like button if you got any value out of it. Subscribe, that'd be great. Don't know if we passed 200 subscribers, but always shooting for more. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.